G'day, guys and girls. Welcome back to another episode. I believe we're crossing a milestone this week. I only realized because I checked the Spotify page today. We were up to episode 30, so that's cool.
Damn.
Welcome back. How are you, boys?
Yeah, not too bad.
30, eh? Who would have thought?
Right. Fucking Jesus. We're retiring now. We're done. We've conquered podcast game and we're finished.
There's nothing more we can do. We're waiting for
we've beat all the bosses and sorted.
Who's the final boss?
Well, I don't know. This.
Getting cancelled. The final boss.
Yeah, bad.
Ben was 1,000 now without his mustache.
Bad. Yeah, for those listening, you need to just get on YouTube. So remember to, obviously subscribe, like, comment. But purely for Ben's head.
Fresh.
Like, he does not have a mustache and it's tripping me out. I don't like it.
He took offense to what I said last week and decided to shave it off.
Yeah. Chris's hatred towards mustache has just really got me.
Yeah.
I just want him to like me. Is there so much to ask for?
He woke up the next day and chose violence.
My friends list is already small, so I got Chris on my side.
Needs as many friends as he can get. So,
all right, boys, what's happening?
Fucking big week. Big week. Yeah, lots of movement, lots of things happening, which is good. I might be able to announce something on next week's podcast, but we'll see. I'm not going to jinx it just yet.
Yeah, old suspense builder over here.
You didn't tell us, or you didn't tell me.
No, I haven't told you guys yet because it's honestly just like it's happened real quick. So we're just waiting on some details and some info. But
so the transformation starts this week.
Yeah, I've already started the hormones and we're ready to go. But I will keep the beard because it still needs some essence of me.
Brandon Sherman, beard lady.
Yeah, that's been crazy couple of days, but we shall find out. We shall see. So next week we could have a good episode where we announce some shit, but we'll find out.
Cool. I like it.
That's about it. Nothing else going on. Work, train, eat, sleep. Actually, take out the training. So, funny story. I was messaging Chris the other day. I'm like, sorry, dude, I'm not going to be in this week at all. Like, short of work being crazy this week. Last week or the week before, Joe's like, okay, let's auto-regulate your deload. So get in and train and just see how you feel and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, sweet, easy, I can do that. Honestly, like Saturday, Sunday, I felt like a bag of dicks. So I got my check-in on Friday. I'm like, man, I've got chest infection. I've got lower back issues. Like something's going on. Something's not right. He's like, yeah, so we're going to go old school and we're not going to train this week. I'm like, okay, cool. Instead of trying to the first time we tried to change a deload and actually like train in a deload for me, we fucked up. So I'm like, no, I'm not training this week. It's great. I'm
deloading this week, actually.
Yeah, I haven't seen Chris. It's been weird.
It's actually been the deload's been fucking good. It's
needed
so much shit on as well. So it's like just trying to catch up with everything. It kind of like come at the perfect time. So I'm like in and out of there fucking super quick. So it's good.
Yeah, it's one of those weeks. Like I feel like it's for some unknown reason, this week of February is just gone. You know what? Fuck you guys, and we're gonna make life hell for you for a week, or hopefully it's only a week. But anyway. How you going, Benny? How's Queensland?
Queensland's good. Everything. We're literally, I think everything's done up here now. Besides airplanes and hospitals, they're pulling all the mandates. Yeah. Yes and no. That's what I was going to say. I'm struggling to re-regulate my sleep just because that week I was struggling to sleep. So when I was sleeping, it was just completely out of cycle. And so now I'm like trying to get my work done, trying to get things done, and it's pushing my days back. So I'm trying to get ahead of everything so that I can just start next week with fucking bang, 6 o'clock, I'm waking back up because it's like Dalton, again, similar to you, Scaff, Dalton told me to auto-regulate training this week with post-COVID. It's like apparently it's supposed to take you a few weeks to get full oxygenation back in your lungs and like actually get back from it.
That's pretty brutal, man.
What's that?
That's pretty fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Like it's... Because I went straight back.
It's a myth. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, no, it's not real. I just don't want to train. That's really all it is.
You just got to do your one set for the gram and you're out. That's it. Yeah, and if that set's not more than the week before that you put on Instagram, then you can't train this week. So it's a deload.
Yeah, exactly.
By default. Yeah, 100%. So once you max it out, that's it.
So I went straight back to leg session on Saturday when I finally had the clearance to train, and that was stupid, but I threw out like 3 times. But it was more so like muscle fatigue, like weakness wasn't a problem. It was fatigue. Like I physically couldn't feel like I was getting oxygen to the muscles I was trying to train. So like I do a set, power out of the set, not an issue. Second you finish, it's like you're trying to get your breath back, and just like this air of fatigue, like this wave of fatigue hit you, and you're just like, my heart rate would just shoot up and it'd be like time to throw up. And I was like, true. So like dropped back to pendulum squats like 20 kilos, like 20 kilo, like a plate. And that was brutal. And then hack squat, that was brutal. I was like, all right, sweet. And yeah, just recovery feels a little bit lower this week.
Yeah.
And Scaff is stuck right there. Look at that face.
No, yours, now you're moving and yours froze on my end.
I've got good internet. What's going on?
Yeah, so do I usually. Everyone froze on. Maybe it's just a little thing. Oh, now it says my internet connection is now it says my internet connection is unstable.
Oh, it is. How the tables have turned.
All right, well, I have no idea what we're up to because Scaffy has the internet of a fucking 1950s barn. But,
yeah, that'd be right.
So it's a weird feeling of fatigue post training that's throwing me. So like I can smash out a session. I'm like Dalton tried to say, yeah, train to like half load and half volume. I was like, yeah, cool. Good luck with that. As we say, do as we say, not as we do. So I've got into the sessions and stuff, but yeah, it's just coming back from it. It's like yeah, it's going to take a few weeks just to get full aerobic capacity back.
Yep, fair.
Very nice.
Very nice. I like it.
I tell you what, I forgot what soreness was like after a week of not training and also like being low of recovery. Holy fuck! I just have DOMs everywhere. Haven't had this for so long. Now I've got DOMs everywhere.
Yeah, DOMs are not fun. Take a week off training and that's it. Forget it. You're fucked.
Yeah, well, yeah. A week off training mixed with the low availability of oxygen just doesn't seem to pair well.
Nah. I wonder if you just took a Ventolin inhaler. I wonder how that would go. Just curious. Just curiosity. Just try it just before you go for a workout. Just Ventolin and then do your workout and see how you breathe. You might feel see if you recover any better.
I will. Like I'll say to you guys in the chat, but anecdotally, this is by no means a claim of evidence, but throwing in better alanine actually helped a fuck ton.
Yeah, you know what? Just throw some clenbuterol. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Clenbuterol and just Vicks vapor up the nose, and then it's clenbuterol.
It's clenbuterol, Vicks, fucking Ventolin, man, albuterol, whatever, all of it, all the uterols. Just go.
One form.
Yeah, and then do a line. No, kidding.
Stuttering, my heart rate is over 9,000.
Bad. Anyway, how are we feeling, Chrissy? What weight are we at now? Low 91s.
Low 91s. So, like I said before, coming into a deload this week, feeling okay. Have your days. Obviously, some days fucking feel shit. Some days I feel typically okay. When I'm running multiple load days like back to back, it's like when I'm coming off of like a couple of high days and my internet connection going again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Someone to laugh at it.
Yeah.
Just let me go.
So again, those listening, myself and Ben just looking at each other laughing like while that was happening because we can see that happening. So anyway, yes.
Am I back?
You're back. Yes, you're back.
Good.
So I typically feel the worst after I've gone with multiple high days and then I have some back-to-back low days.
Yeah.
But usually that one day coming back into the low days is the worst because that's when you obviously, your hunger signal's a bit driven up and you're just fucking hungry as shit. So, but outside of that, like, for what are we, 5.5 weeks out now from the big qualifier, I feel pretty good, like for the most part, like steps around 30 in case is a bit of a ways to go in order to get them in some days. I try and obviously prioritize a big portion of it to get it done at the beginning of the day so I can kind of whack it out early. And then because typically I'm pretty good for most of the day and then towards the back end of the day I start to kind of, fade a little bit in terms of like my cognitive performance and just wantingness to do things, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, low 91s, the look is starting to come in really, really nicely now. So we've probably got, I would say, a 4 to 7 day diet break incoming next week. And then it'll be a final push for the final 4 weeks into show. So glutes are hamstrings are pretty diced. It's mostly now pulling a lot of the fat is still quite localized to the top end of my hamstring and my glutes. So my glutes are boxed and they're starting to show some lines, especially from the side.
Yeah.
But, until the glutes are kind of peeled inside to out, like we'll continue to push conditioning until that does come in. So I would say we've probably still got at least another 3 kilos to pull off, maybe 2.5. And I think that will put us in a pretty good position to be able to load effectively and We probably don't even need a practice peak week. I think we'll just continue to diet all the way through, and then we'll pretty much nail that formula coming into nationals, whether we come in a bit bigger, a bit fuller, or we just continue to diet for even more conditions. It's going to depend on that.
Because the nationals isn't necessarily the big show. Not nationals. The first show, sorry, is not the big show. It's the second show that we're.
Hey, Chrissy, I'm actually interested on that and how you, I guess you and Dean go about talking about it. Do you aim to be your absolute 100% at VIX and just be 100% better at nationals, or do you aim to like peak for nationals so the state qualifiers just get into the show?
So this is something that I think inevitably will happen. Is like I don't believe on getting on stage at any less than 100%.
Yeah,
that 100% in that first show, regardless whether it's an accumulation of stress or just the first time back on stage, the nerves, the look is never as good. If you just go, if you do that second show, you always look way better.
Yeah.
Whether you're 100% at that point in the first one, but then you just marginally better coming into that second show. Whether it's just like, you just dropped off a ton of stress and you're feeling good now. You've got the first one out of the way, and then you can kind of cruise into the next one. I actually just paid for my registration today too. So,
nice.
Got registered in 3 divisions.
It's official now.
So
classic first timers,
classic first timer, classic novice, and then classic open. So,
and then a cheeky bodybuilding.
I've considered it, but no. Like, to be honest, 3 times on stage is already a lot.
Your body's going to be fucking dead.
Yeah. So the good thing about classic is it's all very much like bang, bang, bang. It's not like I'll have to pump up and then it's like 2 hours later. It's all just like bang, 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 and then it's over. So whereas, sometimes some shows, they don't do it a lot in Australia now, but they used to, where they would have like a morning format and then a night format.
Yeah.
You have pre-judging in the morning and then you have to come back for the night show at night where you'd have finals and stuff.
Yeah.
But now it's just all kind of a similar format. It's just bang out.
My Arnold's was the first time the overalls of the finals was on every 2-day, I believe.
Oh, that's tricky. Yeah, tricky to pick for those.
Because and you had like your big guys, like obviously like your Jake Nikolopoulos and stuff like that he ended up winning. But then you had like your Chase and Ross Maloney and that sort of thing. So they're like big boys. So they were obviously peaking for show 1, then coming back to make their playoffs for the final spot on the Sunday as well. So. And they didn't even I don't think they got onto stage until in the afternoon. So you're getting from afternoon, making your qualification for the finals, then having to come back the Sunday morning to do it again. Like, pretty intense.
Yeah, it's fucking tricky. But no, I mean, I'm super excited, to be honest. Like I was saying to my girlfriend, like in show preps past, like I've felt a lot of, and even in this one, because there's a lot of people that have said that they're coming and they come watch me and all that sort of stuff. And it's a little bit, I'm a social media personality or whatever, but like it's a little bit overwhelming to a point where you have like a lot of people messaging you and they're like super supportive and all that sort of stuff. And you know that they're coming and they're expecting to see like a certain level of like conditioning and obviously me conducting myself in a certain way. And look, it's in preps past, I think I really would have let that pressure kind of get to me. But I feel like this is the first prep where it's kind of like, I've just genuinely been enjoying like the entire process. And like, I haven't actually thought too much about like, I don't care if I don't win the show. It's not going to mean that I'm not putting, absolutely everything I can into doing as best as I can. But at the end of the day, like I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's like just a maturity thing with where I'm.
Do you think that has something to do with what we talked about in the episode when I was down there?
The way as opposed to
the way you're looking at it this time compared to previous.
Yeah, I'm really just enjoying like the process and just really being more so present in the actual moment. Because before, like I've been in preps and I've wanted them to end so badly that like I wish this was over. This is so like draining, whatever. Whereas this time it's just kind of like, I don't know, I'm just kind of cruising through and just like getting the work done, getting what I have to do done. Conditioning's coming in. I haven't really had to stress about anything. So it's like, I don't know, the last like, 3 or 4 weeks have been pretty good.
I think that's important too, that people understand. And I'm not saying you weren't like this before, but one of the reasons you get to enjoy it is because realistically, when a well, I guess, situated bodybuilder goes into prep, we're not making 30 different drastic changes in life. Really, for you, it's just like flick a switch, like now we go balls to the walls in terms of like maintaining the deficit, increasing the output, getting better sleep. Like you're already doing those things. Realistically, all you're doing is flicking a switch of like, okay, now this next 16 weeks is dedicated to getting shredded. And whereas like some people that come into it that kind of just want it to be over and just like they look at it as a daunting like 20 weeks of hell is because they think that that's going to produce some, like they're making monstrous changes in such a short period of time that they're not enjoying it. Whereas like for you, for what will inevitably be for me, guys like, Dean and stuff like that, it's just literally a life that's already existing and living. You're just flicking a switch on what direction you're taking the intensity, like where, before it might've been growing. Now it's obviously getting peeled for stage. Whereas like, obviously some other people they kind of like, will fight us around in the off season. I was like, it's not really their life. And then come prep time, that they're making like all these monstrous changes to the life they're currently living. And then obviously it's going to feel like shit.
Yeah. I will say though, it's a bit of an insight into how like some of the bigger social media personalities handle competing, because like obviously it's such a small scale compared to, the likes of like a Josh Bridgman or, Chris Bumstead or fucking, those sort of guys. But yeah, like when you've got, people coming to watch you and like, they're super excited to see, kind of how you do. Like at the end of the day, for me now, like, I think I'm just so confident in the fact that, there's not, whether or not you win a prep or not, or whether or not you win a show or not, like if there's not a single thing I get to the end of the contest prep and there's not a single thing I could have done better, like at the end of the day, what more could I have done? So at the end of the day, then I was like, I'm not looking back over the prep thinking, oh, I should have done this, I should have done this. I've done everything I could possibly do up to that point. And now it's almost like that come show day, the ego is completely taken out of it because whatever will be, will be, I've already done the work. So show day is basically just time to show up and see what the fruits of the labor kind of provide.
Yeah. There's no what if.
Yeah. So it's like, I hope I'm not waking up in condition. I know I'm going to wake up in condition.
Yeah. Well,
like that old adage that luck, like you don't, what is it? Luck is just preparation meeting opportunity.
Yeah, well, you're controlling what you can control. Like really, like you can only control your condition, and you can only control the input that you put in, right? And even the output, I guess, that you actually give out. And at the end of the day, you do the best that you can with what you got, and rock up on the day. And if it's good enough, it's good enough. And if it's not, well, at least you're going to get feedback to work on what it is you need to work on for the next show or the next season. So it's always a win-win, right?
I've already ticked over like probably my best ever conditioning, at like 5 weeks out from a show. So like that's just a rewarding thing in itself. Like without even any accolades to go with it, it's I've already ticked over best conditioning. Anything from here is just kind of like how much further can we take it?
Yeah.
So,
let's see how shredded we can make those butt cheeks.
Yeah, let's see how shredded we can get the butt cheeks. And like to be honest, like I said, I thought I would have felt worse. You definitely go through days where you fucking feel like shit, but like it's one of those things that like I don't know if you just mature with it and you just get better at handling the, I suppose, suck. Just because I've been doing it so frequently for so long now. So I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird feeling coming into this one. It's not like the pressure I've felt from preps past.
Mm-hmm.
And we're back.
Yeah.
He's aware of it now.
Yeah, he's aware of it now. I guess the question that I guess a lot of people will be having, and by a lot of people, it's just me, what calories are your low days these days? What are we looking at, I guess, when people want to, know what the suck really is at this point in time for someone like yourself? What is it, or what are we looking at?
Yeah, so protein is 275, carbs are 175, and fats are 40. So that brings me to like 2,100 and something.
Not too bad.
Yeah, again, it's relative to the individual,
of course.
So like, again, it's not like how low is your food, it's how far away are you from where your body likes to sit. Like one way or another, if your glutes are peeled, it doesn't matter if you're on 3,000 calories, if you're on 2,000 calories.
Of course, it's relative. Yeah.
Trash. Which is 2,160 calories. So I would say that there's definitely room to get a little bit more aggressive should we need to in the coming weeks. I would say we'll probably
need to.
The what?
I doubt you'll even need to.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Is like if you get ahead of the rate of loss.
Yeah.
And like you don't need to dig that aggressive because the rate of loss is already ticking along at the appropriate rate. So if you're checking those boxes each week and it's like, 500 gram loss, 500 gram loss, 500 gram loss, like you don't need to make any changes, You basically just get into that deficit, hold it. That's the benefit of having a longer contest prep is that although it's drawn out over a bit of a longer period of time, you don't need to diet as aggressive. So, for us, that's why we've got time to probably, pull back a little bit, take a diet break, drop some fatigue. And we know with my physique, like I can look night and day different when I'm stressed out versus when I'm like really fatigued versus when I'm like, full glycogen loaded, low stress. Like it's a night and day difference in my physique, and it could be the difference from fucking, last to first almost.
Yeah.
So I suppose, it's been a good prep so far, to be honest. It's been good.
Fair enough. And how's everything else going up there in Queensland now, Benny boy? Much else happening short of you recovering from Rona?
Man, I'm just really knuckling down on clients. Hey, I'm like what's the word? I know firsthand that I constantly have a feeling of not providing enough, not doing enough. So for me, I'm just always finding ways to get better and do better. So at the moment, I've just finished off putting together 2, I guess we'll call them small lecture series for clients that when they start, like I don't like the idea of having to spend the first 10 weeks going through the minute details of like what are calories, what does food do? Like for me, I know those same questions come up, so I just put them into videos and was like, these are carbs, these are simple carbs, complex carbs, these are protein sources, this is amino acids, yada, yada. So yeah, just the idea was put that together, and then every time someone comes on, I can send that to them and then actually spend the initial weeks coaching rather than being like, this is a carb and this is a protein. Like it's just there. I set the homework and say, hey, these weeks, I need you to listen to these. Off we go. So yeah, I spent the last probably week. Seems I was at home doing nothing and not being able to go out and train. Getting that done. So that was good. It was timing over. And yeah, like it kind of just frees up. That was like a massive time commitment. It kind of frees me up for the other core stuff and the other stuff I want to do now too. So it frees me up to have that information, send clients to go, here you go, this is all it is.
Yeah, and I guess what's the go with training these days? We're looking to you in growth phase. You're still coming down. What's the go there?
It's been up and down.
Or is it just maintenance? Just survive?
Yeah, it was just a really shitty spot with like the back, what I did to my back, then getting COVID. Like I got 2 good weeks of training. Then I got to the new gym finally, then got injured. I got sick for a week. Just coming out of that now. So I want to get ahead and kind of start a pre-prep phase. I've got my monthly catch up with Dalt booked into the end of the month where we're going to look at things and what's going on. Strength's going to be a shit spot coming out of COVID. Like my numbers just dropped off. So getting that back up is going to be priority. And I actually want to start pushing some supplements because I've literally been on next to TRT for fucking however long. So getting that back up and actually now capitalizing on that and having a bit more structure and organization with business. I really want to start digging into that before prep starts. So
has your blood done recently?
What's that, sorry?
You got your bloods done recently?
Yeah, I got my bloods done recently and they were crap.
Right.
Yeah, so basically it was just canola oil. So
not from like a testosterone perspective. What about your other markers? Your liver.
Oh yeah, that's all good. Like liver guinea levels are up a little bit. I'm going to assume relatedly it was about the fact that it was just crap. That's obviously not going to be helpful. But most other like nutrient levels and stuff have been fine. So really the markers we got. Like low test was the only negative. So blood pressure obviously is getting better as my weight sort of re-regulates and comes back down. So every time I push up in weight, that's where I kind of like to know that I cap it as well. Is that like that peak of calories and food, blood pressure shoots up, and then I'm like, right, that's enough. Even with metabolic adaptation and stuff that Dole puts in, like we do a lot of periodization of cardio work to make sure that I'm still keeping my heart rate and blood pressure in check. And once we start to see that still escalates, it's like, all right, let's pull it back down. And that's plenty. Just because, fucking getting big and heavy is great, but if it's not turning into quality muscle, I'm just feeling sick. What's the point?
Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, everything's sort of re-regulating now and getting better. So I really want to start pushing a few good blocks of training and growing, on the calories we've got, trying to do a nice recomposition period, drop some extra body fat before prep starts. It's just for me, it's like I'm getting lines, like I get lines from my legs. But then,
what are you when are you looking to start in this pre-prep phase?
So we've got season B, which is now at the point, I think they're aiming for October.
35, yeah.
Yeah. So it'll probably be this block, I will say, push for 3 mesos. And I'll probably look at trying to mostly through output. Like because going from NW, I was doing 15 to 20,000 steps a day. I'm now hitting 5. So I'm just going to start up-regulating that a little bit. I've got a bit of cardio work that Dalton's do just to get COVID out, get that aerobic capacity back up, try and get that healthy again. So I want to try and do it more so through output than just cutting food.
Yeah.
So see how that goes, see how that responds. So probably have 2 or 3 mesos of that, get some numbers up, and then we'll see prep for May, June, July, August, September. Yeah, around that mid-May mark, depending on what composition's like.
Yeah, I was going to say, I imagine May, June, July, May, June would be the time to start prepping for B, right? Give or take.
Yeah.
I think that puts you at about 20 weeks odd, maybe 20, 24 weeks, 20 weeks, I think, from memory. Something like that.
Yeah, I really just want to spend this period absolutely knuckling down on everything, just making sure that all the minutes are in place before prep even starts, so it's not like it's a wall. And it's not like I don't do most of those things anyway. It's just more so like, it kind of took a back foot with business. Like, that was always a priority.
Yeah.
So that was the reason why we pushed back to season B in the first place. I was just not going to be in a financial or life position to do this.
Yeah, I thought you were doing season A next year for some reason. I don't know why. I thought
it was going to be season A this year.
It was? Yeah, originally it was going to be this year's season A, then business and everything happened. And I thought you were going to push it 12 months.
Yeah, pulling the pin for that. We sort of looked at it and said, well, financially, can I get in a position where season B is doable? So, like, I should having everything. That's why, like, all these systems are great and stuff that I'm trying to set up now is that having that optimized for anytime a new client comes on, it means I don't have to think, or not so much think. I can focus that mental energy on them specifically, not teaching them nonchalant fucking nuances.
Yeah, at the back end, it's already sorted and they just all get ready to go.
Exactly. So, yeah.
A bit of a tangent that I just thought of because I was listening to the Bro Chat podcast on the way home. And Brett Wilkins watching the Eric Electric videos. They were talking about it.
I haven't watched the new one. I haven't listened to the new one yet.
I still watch them.
And Justin Shire are talking about how this is the first prep he reckons that he's delved into like the eating videos. And like, again, he looked at it from the perspective of like, he doesn't look at it, doesn't watch the videos much Sam does, doesn't watch the videos thinking, oh, I want to eat all that food. Like he just looks at it and thinks like the fact that he can stomach that much food is like impressive,
Yeah.
So I just thought it was funny seeing like Brett Wilkins like fucking, getting into it as well.
We're not the only fuck ones, Chris.
We're not the only fuck ones, yeah. Brett Wilkins, Justin Shire are doing it.
The people that messaged me after that, it's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And I was like, what do you mean? It just makes sense. You're looking at a sheer volume of food where you're just like, that's going to make me crook. Like, I don't want to eat right now. Like at one point, I watched, there was one episode he makes like a sundae and he's drinking the end of it. And it's like, he's been doing this for a good hour at this point. It's like a 14,000 calorie sundae. And whatever's mixed at the bottom, he's like dipping bread into it and drinking it. And it was making me crook. Like, but not as in a like, oh, I really want to try that. It was like, I don't know. I don't want my food.
It's like when you're feeling hungry. I'm not hungry anymore.
Yeah, I'm good.
It's a little trick. Don't worry about all the other little tricks of the trade, like nicotine and all these other appetite suppressants. Just watch this. Just watch this guy eat this shit, and you're sorted.
Chris's search panel on YouTube, like right now, is Eric Electric. Last 15 months of fucking content, and he's doing one weekly.
And he only does them.
How's your growth phase going?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Ticking over 100 kilos now, which is nice. Coming back up, it's at 7 kilos of gain since
we on
growing.
Time for season B or season A?
Not. Well,
Tom, Tavi, you got to get on it. Like,
well, hold on. Well, after what I told you about this potential thing happening, we're not sure yet. We'll see. You don't get to pull at me. That's my thing. Hey man, mine's legit as well. So we'll find out. I mean. Joe actually hasn't mentioned season B, to be honest. Not that we've actually spoken about a specific comp date. I mean, last year when we'd spoken about it, at the start of last year, we'd said potentially season B this year. So the plans from last year to now, that's what it's been. But again, not sure. I'm not really in any actual...
Sounds like it's bitching to me.
No, I'm not in any rush, man. I'm just enjoying training and going through the motions, really. It's kind of nice just ticking off the boxes and ticking the day-to-days and week-to-weeks where we can and, not getting injured or sick or something like that. Yeah. It's always nice.
Do that, guys, and you'll get great results.
It's funny. It's kind of like I had a really great run last year, then copped a whole stack of issues with my pancreas and all that sort of stuff. And then had a really nice run. And then as soon as I had a chest infection, then I got like this lower back glute issue from nowhere. And it's just like, never had a problem in my life. So it's like this last month has just been shit house. I think I've had like 2 or 3, maybe 2 leg sessions in a month. So it's been shit house. So we'll find some consistency first, tick off the day-to-days and go from there. I'm not in any rush, man. Whether it be B or A, I don't really care. It is what it is and is when it is. I guess say what Joe says. Joe's the boss.
Beautiful.
Speaking of bumps,
Yeah, the shows over there. Big Joe's got he's got three really good dudes competing in that too, bros.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Joe Ballinger and fucking some other dude as well.
Yeah. Who was it? I can't remember. I did see the post of it, but yeah, it's going to be a good show. It should be interesting to watch. Hopefully, we can watch it here somehow. Hopefully, they stream it.
Rory said he was going to put some fucking shit up on his story or something. So.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, surely there'd be hopefully there's a stream. I mean, maybe not, but it's not, I guess, that big internationally, right? It's good over there, but probably not for us over here. Maybe cool to see.
In regards to comps, what do you reckon about getting Davey and I come down for Chrissy's show?
Yeah, come.
We can get a little. We'll go around and annoy Chris in his morning, and get that on camera.
Yeah, shotgun tanning his glutes, but
with a shave between those cracks, Chrissy. Really make sure you get that tan on properly.
Got to get right up in there.
Yeah. You got to pre-prep the wall before you paint.
See how I'm feeling.
he gets the knock on the door and just doesn't answer.
The question is, Chris, do you wear the sock when you get tanned?
Oh, no. The girlfriend will have everything out.
I'm staring at bro.
I'm not so.
First time for any listeners, the first time I ever I did, because the first time I got tanned was at hey,
it's cocksock.
Yeah, cocksock. But it was more so like the room I was in a Siobhan's room in Melbourne for Arnold's, and there was just a list of dudes butt-ass naked with a cocksock on, and there's some dudes drying and some dudes fanning themselves, some dudes getting patted down and tanned, and other dudes oiling other dudes. I'm like, this is the most gay, non-gay thing I've ever done in my life. But it was the first time I've done it, because my first time getting tanned, it was just one room, me by myself. And then this time it was all right, you guys are over here and you guys are here. All right, when you're done there, rotate this way. And there's just a bunch of naked ass Jack dudes walking around. I was like, cool, sweet.
It's only gay if you're gay, though.
Yeah.
We're not getting I'm not saying in a bad way.
There's no bad way. It's just if you're gay, you're gay. And this is what I agree with.
Yeah, I agree with this.
I'm not saying it was homoerotic. It was. What's the word?
Ben got a stiffy.
Yeah, you did get a stiffy.
Yeah, I can't house
by that situation.
Well, it's funny when you think about it.
Prep, there wasn't much of a stiffy, but there was that.
It's when you think about it, when you play team sports, right? We've all played footy or our codes of footy. What's the first thing you do when someone does something well? You tap them on the bum, and it's why? I didn't get it. No. Yeah, but why that?
Sure, actually, it's not one of those things that you can do. You just don't know.
Yeah, why is that?
You're asking too many questions.
Yeah, it was something that I never really did. It'd be kind of tap on the shoulder, yeah, nice job.
I did it. I did it again.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking, when you look at it and you watch them do it, you're watching the game, you're why is that what you do?
The most confident form of masculinity you want.
Yeah.
That's throwing yourself, tapping another dude on the bum.
I have no idea why, but it's something that I've always done.
Yeah, right. It happened.
Yeah. That's what. It's just one of those weird things. It's kind of like what Ben's saying when you're, getting your balls and shit painted in front of other dudes. It's it just is what it is. I was cool.
It wasn't a bad thing. It was just my first experience to that environment. I was like, sweet.
Nice.
Yeah. Because I'm just yes.
And then they're bend over.
Time for the moon pose.
And cough. No.
How are your glutes and hammies looking?
Pretty much, right. Should we move into some questions? Because I know we are very busy people today. So we're keeping this one a little bit shorter.
Run a little along.
Side note,
you want to laugh? I literally just opened the questions, and the first question that comes up: how much food is Chris currently on? Calories and macros. Well, there you go. That's been answered.
There you
go. I can give a little bit more around that. So
go on.
Well, the way that we run this, or the way that we have ran this prep, is more so in preps past. I've done weekly refeeds or bi-weekly refeeds, whereas this time around it's more so just. I may have a bi-weekly refeed every 3 weeks or so. So it may be 10 days low, 2 days high, 7 days low, 2 days high, 12 days low, 2 days high. Mm-hmm. So it'll just be more of an ad hoc refeed type of approach. And my refeeds So I gave you the macros for my my low days, which was 275 protein, 175 carb, and 40 fat. And then my high days or my refeed days have been, I believe, just bringing carbs up to 450. And that's literally, so that's like 3,300 calories, I think.
Yep, cool. Simples. That answers that question.
But as always, that question for everyone, please don't think that his calories or macros apply to you. I'm sick of seeing people do like day in the life, like, what are your calories? And then all of a sudden you hear people like, well, those calories don't work for me. No, of course they don't.
Yep, that's fair. What do we got here? Buy pre-workout or make your own?
Did you know in America they have like we have like when we used to have the candy shops, like when you go to like Birch Cal and Cole, you used to be able to like get all the candy. Yeah. America has these like whole food versions of sub stores where you can make your own. It's like a funnel of powder with like DHA, fucking caffeine.
Sounds dangerous as fuck.
I know.
Yeah, I know. Can you imagine us going into that? Yeah.
Oh, you've got some DMA? Cool. Whoops. I'll leave this open for 3 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much. I will take the container. You just walk out with it.
Like that's why there's such a variety of pre-workout blends in America for ages, because they just literally had like an open source, go to these home brand places and there you go. There's make your own pre-workout.
I do prefer to buy mine though. I couldn't be.
Yeah, so do I.
Buying individual ingredients.
It's so costly.
I like Disorder by Fraction Labs. It's good. It's not too much. It's just not. I don't like anything overly stimmy. I like more of a neurotropic formula, neurotropic blend. I like to be focused as opposed to overly amped up when I'm in the gym.
I did that. I put that up in my one of the videos I did about some of the pre-workouts now really starting to get into things like lion's mane, ashwagandha, so you're getting a cortisol balance as well as stimulation. So yeah, there's a few now that are less just about jacking it up and more about like, can we bring down your cortisol, but also just like give you a little bit more caffeine, not a jacked up amount of caffeine.
Yeah, fair. I just have coffee. Like it's very rare that I use any other pre-workout unless I'm really tired or if I need a big workout. But then I think I just have 4 shots of coffee. So same thing.
Because the pre-workout market is so jacked up now, brands are actually putting good qualitative doses in there. So you're getting like 6 to 8 grams of citrulline, you're getting 3 grams of protein.
Out there now that are actually really good.
Yeah, like they just because of the fact the market's so competitive, they have to be. Same, I agree, Chris, entirely with everything you just said.
I agree. I said my connection was unstable.
Yes.
It stopped, and as soon as you talked,
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, it's just see.
Yes.
I'm so sick of this fucking internet connection.
I don't blame you.
I'd have put it on the wall.
Yeah, bad. A fuck, marry, kill Putin, Xinping, and ScoMo. Xinping for you, Ben, because I know you're uneducated as fuck.
Fucking World War III soon, the way things are.
Oh, dude.
China, Chinese guy, Chinese prime minister, president.
Bro, it's actually a little terrifying, to be honest. Like,
dude, like people should be more scared of this than I think they are. That's the fuck.
Like, legitimately, this could be World War III.
What Putin is doing is literally what Hitler did in the Rhine to start taking over and like pushing the boundaries of Germany. And he's just waiting for everyone to push back. Everyone's scared and they're not going to push it back because fucking Biden's a retard.
He's just seeing how much you can get away with, you know?
Yeah, literally how World War II started.
You still haven't answered the question. Which one would you fuck? Which one would you marry? Which one would you kill?
Well, you got to fucking kill ScoMo because he's a retard. Like he's fucking.
I don't mind ScoMo. I think he's a bit sweetheart. You want to be fucking married to Putin? Are you insane?
Yes. That dude's ex-KGB. He's a freak.
The only reason why I'd be married to Putin is because he's a black belt in judo and someone I can train with. Because obviously I like.
I'm not going to say a bad word about him, but I'm not answering.
When they inevitably take over, I'm on your side.
As we post this onto YouTube, there's just like a pop-up of Putin's head on Chris.
Yeah, did you hear though? There was a breach. There was a flyby breach where Australian airships were laser sighted by Chinese airships, and everyone was like, "Hey, this is pretty bad." Yeah, no one said anything. Yeah. Nothing happened. Like no one in the news talked about it. I'm like, you just got laser sighted by Chinese fighters. That's not a cool thing.
Yeah.
But hey, let's not go talking about political science fucking here.
Yeah, we're not going to be that podcast. Come on, we're better than that. Would you rather always feel sandy or like you have to shit?
Well, I always like I have to shit anyway, so.
Always feel sandy or like you have to shit. I guess it depends on
because that's just normal.
I was gonna say, I guess it also depends on the severity of how, like, you know, when you get pain, for example, like those real pains when you're like, oh no, like I'm in trouble here. Like I don't know if it's because I have to go to the.
You start weighing up the time frame from the elevator to your house.
Even so, all the pains where it's like you don't know if you need to go to the bathroom or if you have a real problem. You're like, is something really wrong with me, or do I just need to go to the toilet? Like I don't know which one it is.
Good point.
Yeah, so it's like it depends on the severity of the pain, because if it's that kind of severity, I'd actually rather feel sandy all the time.
Oh yeah.
That doesn't.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. If it's just like
the nuances here matter.
Yeah, well, you got to deep dive into this shit, literally. Otherwise, we're not going to know. Like, it makes it very.
That one does matter.
Yeah, you don't want to be walking around in pain. Like, you can be walking around like feeling sandy and it's just a bit whatever, but like a genuine pain, fuck that. So yeah, next time, guys, when you ask these questions, give us some actual detail so we can answer this properly. When will there be a Bros with Brain supplements?
We talked about that, and it's fucking difficult to get shit imported to Australia.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, getting decent.
There is. Things I've been out now for like 5 months, but following up with some old workmates because I'm trying to get my discounts still set up with my nutrition warehouse account. But there's literally like global shortages on creatine. There's backed up shortages of stimulants. There's backed up shortages of whey protein availability. Like shit's fucked.
Yeah.
So maybe not for a couple of years. And maybe not ever if we get wiped off the face of the planet by food.
Yeah. Nuclear winter is not exactly a prime time to grow whey.
Well, there's a whey shortage worldwide or something, isn't there? Whey products at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Optimum Nutrition, who's the largest supplier globally, who have always maintained a decent price range because it has big buy power.
Have to
jack up the price.
Price by like $30 or something.
Yeah.
Like per kilo or some shit. It's crazy. Which great figure of science would you like to go toe-to-toe with on a topic of your choosing?
Ooh. That's interesting. That's a good question.
Like, who would I want to go toe-to-toe with? And who's a great figure of science? That's interesting. It is interesting.
I don't know why, but the only person that comes to mind is like Neil deGrasse Tyson. And I don't want to go head to
head.
Yeah. Like, why would you like, good luck?
Like, honestly, if they're a figurehead and I respect them, I'm not going toe-to-toe with.
Yeah, I mean, they could be a figurehead, but you don't have to respect them. That's what I'm trying to think of. People that are like, I guess we deem people like a James Krieger or like a Lane Norton on like topics to do with Lyle will kill everybody. But like going like toe to toe with like a Lane Norton, who I absolutely fucking love. Like, don't get me wrong when it comes to his nutrition and protein stuff, but go toe to toe with him on his training ideas and when he speaks about training, for example. You know what I mean? That's where I'd like to go.
I can see that with Huberman. Huberman, I find that when he starts talking a lot about, he's very mechanistic in how he talks about neuroscience, but when he actually dives into the application of that science, it's fucking horrible.
Yeah, I honestly can't stand him that much, to be honest. I find him very irritating.
Like his growth of his social presence of like that figurehead in like neuroscience.
Yeah.
Very smart guy, but at the same time, he takes mechanistics from his lab and then tries to put human application instantly. And when you like looking at how psychology works, the behavior of the neuro understanding just doesn't go that easily. Well, so for me, like that'd be fun.
Between that and he's an eye specialist, like shut up.
Yeah.
Like, dude, no. Like just because you use big fancy words and make all these little drawings doesn't mean you're right. And then once you start to read a lot of them, especially stuff on his metabolism and all that, you're like,
oh yeah.
That's not how it works, buddy. Like, no. But anyway, for me, it'd be like Lane Norton on training just because that'd be fun. And because we'd both fire up. So it'd be great.
I'm going to say Eric Helms just because I think it'd be a great chat.
Yeah, but you're going toe to toe with him on a topic of your choosing. What topic are you going to go toe to toe with him?
Any topic in relation to health and fitness and well-being. Training.
Okay, there you go. Be a bit more specific.
I just think it'd be a great discussion, to be honest. That's it.
And Ben, we're going with Huberman on the mechanics of the eye. Got it. I'm just making it up.
Very specific.
What have we got here? HCG use with TRT to remain fertile. Worth using during or just post cycle? Anyone?
This is your realm.
Yeah, you can still have thoughts on it. Anybody? quiet, all quiet on the Western Front.
And you have it.
Okay, so I guess I'll answer that one then. HCG, I don't see why you need to remain fertile. So HCG actually produces estrogen in the testes. That's how, or it's part of the mechanism. How?
Nuts.
Yeah, so that's how it brings back all that stuff. I guess the suggestion would be, or the reason would be, you want to probably keep estrogen lower when running TRT. You don't want to have an overdose of estrogen. So I'd probably not run HCG while on TRT. I mean,
I haven't heard people doing it for fertility reasons, mainly because if you're still introducing like a synthetic version of testosterone, like what's the point of having HCG if you're worried about the size of your nuts? Like, yes, use HCG maybe if you want to kickstart your shit again quicker, if you're coming off, but what's the point otherwise?
Well, this one says to remain fertile.
To remain fertile. I think duration of exposure is going to have far more impact.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to remain fertile anyway, I don't think, from memory, even running HCG on TRT for a period of time, depending on the length of time. So
that ain't going to help your son.
Yeah, I'd just not use it, get jacked and swole, and then when you want to have...
Well, like that's why so many...
For fertility.
Sorry?
Injectable L-Carnitine for fertility.
Yeah, well, that's another question that I've got on here. The benefits of injectable L-Carnitine. Wait, what's the rest of the question? For enhanced lifters.
Of my understanding, injectable L-Carnitine is the only really effective utilization of carnitine, right? Sorry.
Try that again.
Oral L-Carnitine works,
but bioavailability.
Yeah, bioavailability shit house. You have to take quadruple the amount.
Yes.
To get the same active amount as an injectable. But also the beauty of an injectable is its, I guess, liberation of fat, which is pretty cool, and how it works with fat oxidization, and then I guess all of those downstream effects. So, I mean, it's not just good in enhanced lifters. It's great in enhanced lifters because obviously it does work synergistically with probably everything else you're taking. I don't think there is a synergy that it doesn't really work with when it comes to being enhanced, but it actually works pretty nicely in naturals as well. Though I guess if you take injectable L-Carnitine, does that make you unnatural? I'm trying to think. I don't know if it's on the banned substance list.
Not on the banned list, so no.
Yeah, it's not. Right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
You can have a high elevated levels of T3 and still be considered natural.
Yeah. We don't care about that. I'm just wondering, does carnitine make you? Does that classify you as enhanced, or
I think it depends on what in terms of like the ethicalness of being on.
Oh no, we don't care about ethics. Schematics, semantics. We don't know.
By what your federation deems to be, and then the answer is.
Oh, interesting. Well, there we go. Sorry?
Will they even be able to test for that?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can test. I imagine you can test carnitine levels at some point. I just don't know what. And I haven't looked into it, so I don't know on that one. Thoughts on melatonin?
It's great.
It's good. It's good. It works. It helps you sleep, and it's also a great antioxidant.
Yeah, it's fucking phenomenal. And from what I'm aware, it's not.
But I will say, commonly abused and overdosed for the actual amount that people think they need for an efficacious.
Oh yeah, yes, yeah.
You don't need fucking 6 to 10 grams of melatonin to get the effectiveness of it.
Milligrams.
1 to 3 milligrams.
Yeah.
Take 10 grams, please. Tell me how you feel. Which is interesting because again, interindividuality. I've tried 3 milligrams, didn't feel shit, didn't get tired, didn't get drowsy, nothing. 5 milligrams, nothing. I then popped 10, felt what you're supposed to feel on like using melatonin, try to pull it back to like 5 and see nothing. Again,
so on your reasoning though, because that's like just based purely off anecdote, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, this is nothing but like I said, so like that's purely to me personal. Like I've tried 1 to like 3, 4, 5, all the way up, then 5 to 10. I haven't tried in the middle of 5 and 10 just because I can't be bothered splitting a tablet because fuck that.
I don't use it to help me sleep. I only use it for its antioxidant properties. That's it.
Yeah, see, I use it for sleep because sleep's gold. I need sleep. But anyway, that's it for the questions. Do we move into the game or did you want to finish up a bit earlier today, guys? Because it's been about an hour.
Let's finish it there. I've got fucking bunch of shit to do.
Cool. Done and done. We will come back next week, hopefully, with a bit more energy. Hopefully Chris has a refeed and he feels good.
I feel fine today. It's just I've got fucking life admin.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm just staring at it because it's fun. All right. Well, we'll play the new game next week, Bad People. Apparently a few people liked that game. It was interesting. It was basically a game just hating on Ben.
We want to keep them want to keep them listening, They've got to tune in for next week.
Exactly. Well, it's more...
He's a bit of a teaser, Chris.
Yeah.
Bit of a dangle.
Bit of a dangle. Before we do go, anything that we need to know about, lads? Anything coming up? Usual?
No, just start filming. Hence the point of getting all the digital camera stuff. Start filming week 1. So that means that's all underway. And then after that, I'll move it into some beta testing with a few people. And then, so that's happening.
Beautiful. Chrissy boy?
I'm still pumping out my Strength Lab courses, education courses. So going well. Finished off another couple modules. So moving into some coaching application stuff coming into the following weeks. Got 3 athletes competing next weekend at the ICN show. So that'll be fun as well. So looking forward to that. And then, myself in 5.5 weeks.
Beautiful. And I've got nothing going on because boring life. So that's about it. Work, train, eat, sleep. And that's it from us, guys and girls, as always. Please try to subscribe on YouTube.
Like, subscribe, follow. It's all here.
You only need one reason, and it's to see Ben's face without a mustache. So Ben, you cannot put anything on your Instagram of your head up until this episode's released.
What a story up like a day ago.
Yeah, I know, you fucked up. So that no one can see.
Chris's face is looking better than mine. He's fucking got his old chiseled fucking.
Yeah, he does. He does look good, but you don't have a mustache. So we got to bring people to the YouTube channel somehow.
If I come back, how mad would you be if I come back on tomorrow or the next week and I literally just had mustache?
Yeah. Finally, Ben's is gone.
Do it.
Mine now.
Do it. All right, guys. As always, thanks for tuning in, and we will chat to you next week. Goodbye.
Thanks, guys.